Man of many mistakes. I made them so you don't have to, but you can if you want to. Today I just want to tell a story. It doesn't really have a big crescendo. It doesn't have a real message. It's not necessarily a mistake. But what it is, it's a testament of genius, just pure genius. And I was so proud to be able to experience this genius in front of me and to take part in it. So anyway, back in the early 90s, I'm not sure what year, but I used to go to the studio a lot and work with different artists. And at this time, I was working with Puff Daddy, but not at the level he was at. He was a vice president and I was a director of A&R, artists and repertoire. And we were both working at Uptown Records at the time. And one night, we had a studio session booked with Chris Wallace, Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. It was at a studio called Soundtracks in New York City. I want to say just off the top of my head, it was 21st Street and 6th Avenue. I want to say off the top of my head, I could be wrong. And it was a studio on the 3rd or 4th floor. Really nice studio and somewhere we used to do a lot of work. We worked all over the studios in New York City at the time. The Hit Factory, Quad, Soundtracks, D&D. I can go on and on. But at this particular night, there was a session scheduled for Biggie. And at this time, we were putting together one of his albums. I believe it was the Ready to Die album. Yeah, it was the Ready to Die album. And session was booked. And I show up, Biggie shows up, and Puff was supposed to show up. Puff calls me at the last minute and says, "Dog, I'm sick. I can't make it in." So at this point, the plan didn't go accordingly. It had to be rerouted and pivoted. So we have studio time. Puff is the mastermind of the studio, of the whole project. So he's not here. I got to step in and fill up. I got to fill in his shoes. Let's put it like that. I have to fill the shoes of Puff. And I had no idea this is what I was going to be doing that night. I thought I would just be the fly on the wall as usual and get in where I fit in. Anyway, he calls me and says, "Dog, I can't make it." And now Biggie and I are just sitting in the studio. So we don't know what to do. We have studio time booked. Don't want to waste the money. There's a lot to be smoked. And why not create something? So I called Puff back. I said, "Listen, man, we're going to stay here and figure something out. We're going to make something." And he said, "What you going to make?" I said, "I have no idea. No idea." He said, "Yo, I had this idea, man. I had this idea, this song called Dreams. Dreams. I don't know. It's just dreams. You know, I don't know what to say, but the word dreams just keep coming in my mind." So I put Biggie on the phone with him, and he told Biggie the same thing. He's like, "Yo, if y'all gonna stay there, I just been having this dreams title in my mind, and maybe y'all could do something with it." Fast forward now, we hang up the phone. We get back in the studio. Me and Biggie are taking advantage of all the accoutrements, if you know what I'm talking about. And we're just sitting there building and stuff, and then he kind of zones off for a while into his own world. And when Biggie makes a song, or when Biggie made a song, he would have his own way of putting the song together. Now, a lot of times artists will go in the studio and they'll just take a pen and pad and they'll start writing. They'll just start writing and writing and writing and writing and writing, and then engineers playing the beat back just so they can write and write. So they're really focused in on writing. Biggie's different. Biggie needed something to smoke and a comfortable chair, and he had a pose that you knew he was building. He kind of sat like this, like the old wise man, like the Buddha, in the chair. and he'd be in his own. And you don't disturb him because you know something incredible is happening. So I'm over here, I'm putting the beat together. Had a bunch of beats in there and stuff, and I kind of spliced a few together and came up with the track. Real basic, real raw, but dope. I think it was a James Brown sample. And me and Biggie, we're going back and forth. He's like, yo, dog, what you think about this? And he'll say a verse or he'll say a few lines. And who are you to argue with Biggie's pen? I mean, crazy. But he's sitting there, and maybe an hour or two, most, goes by. And he says, all right, I'm ready. Okay, I said, cool. So I put the track down. He goes in the booth. He starts spitting. It sounds incredible. I believe we did less than 5 takes. Doing less than 5 takes in a studio session is unheard of. It's just unheard of. You know how you see a movie being shot and they say, cut, take 2, cut, take 3, cut. That's just like it is in the studio, or how it used to be in the studio. If you don't really flow the way you need to, or your pitch isn't right, or you might say a wrong word, you stop, you start again. I know he did less than 5 takes and came up with the song, Dreams, an R&B bit.
Dreams of getting R&B bitch. I'm just playing what I'm saying.
Dreams of an R&B bit. And I felt so privileged because I saw it happen. It manifested from Puff's mind of the word dreams to Biggie's mind what dreams meant, and in my mind what the track should be. And we came out with the song. And the most gratifying part about that is I'm the one in the background saying, whatever the background is saying, I don't remember, dreams, bitch. Whatever that is, that's me. And I'm doing the ad-libs. And Biggie asked me to do that. He's like, yo, dog, could you do this and boop and say this here? What about Tony Braxton? I think I'm saying that. So yeah. This was really a dream come true, and I got to produce the whole album with Sean, with Puff. And I believe on the Ready to Die album, I got co-executive producer and some A&R credits maybe. You could check the records, I'm not positive, but I got some ink on that album, and look at it. 30 years later, 20 years later, however long it's been, it still holds up. And I had a chance to be a part of that, you know. Yeah, genius minds at work. P. Diddy and B.I.G. in the studio. Something to be seen. Really was.